Live from New York, it's Wearable Electronics' Becky Stern.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. It is July 15th. We are live from downtown Manhattan in the corner of the Adafruit headquarters. With me is Phil, Mr. Lady Ada himself. Welcome back to the show.
Hello, I'm back, and I'm pressing buttons that will do things eventually.
Can you tell us what would be on today's show, perhaps?
I'm glad you asked. I've been waiting so long to say this. At least a few minutes. Wearable Wednesday.
We'll debut a new project and talk to you about some cool projects of yours this week.
What are you wearing?
Phil tells you about this wearable that his pillow has been wearing.
Yeah, it's a pillow fashion show. It's New York Fashion Week this week.
Yeah.
Component of
isn't
the
it
week.
always New York Fashion Week?
That's true.
Component of the week is this very exciting mini EL inverter. Learn more later.
And questions and answers. You have questions. Becky has links to the learning system.
I have answers to the questions. If you have any wearable electronics questions, including stuff I have covered in past learning guides, which is what the theme of the question section is.
We precogged it. We know what people want to ask.
Yeah.
Sometimes before they even know, we know.
If you want to know how many neopixels your Flora can drive. No, if you want, if you have any questions about wearable electronics that have been answered before or not, you can ask them in the comments of the live show now, of the recorded show later, on the Adafruit blog, on the Google+, on the Twitter, wherever, and I will fashion them up into next week's show and answer them live, and one of you will be the proud recipient of a copy of Getting Started with Adafruit Flora by me and Tyler Cooper.
Yes.
Those of you whose questions will be answered today are already in the sticky burn hat.
That's right.
To enter to win. You can ask as many questions as you want about wearable electronics.
All that and more on Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
That is the name of the show.
Okay. All right, I miss you. I'm back. Back in the saddle. Back
I
in the
know.
saddle.
It's nice to have you back.
There you go. First up, got to pay some bills.
The code is Mouser.
Yeah.
If you would like to get 10% off your whole order, except for gift certificates and EagleCat software, you can use code Mouser. Phil, why is the code Mouser today?
That's a great question, and I'm glad you asked. So
I have prepared a slide for the answer to this question.
The reason is, this is a big deal. In the world of electronics, there's really big distributors. And we are pleased to announce that Adafruit is now being stocked at Mouser. Yeah, and Mouser is much like a DigiKey or a Jameco or an Arrow or an Allied or an Element 14.
Or Premier Farnell.
Premier Farnell, RS, perhaps. One of the things that's really cool about Mouser is, in the business world, is they're owned by Berkshire Hathaway. So that's the Warren Buffett company. And it was started by an educator. And his name was Jerry Mouser, I believe. And in 2014, I think, they had $600 million in revenue. So this is a big company.
Huge.
They have tens of thousands of customers. They can ship anywhere. Usually orders ship within 15 minutes.
That's nuts.
They have a 500,000 foot facility, and they are considered, way up there. They're the best. So we're really, really pleased about that. So if there's anything you want from Adafruit, just go to the Mouser site, and if they don't have it, you can always do a non-catalog request item, and they can stock it. And they're starting out with some of our big categories like Flora, like Huzzah, like Bluefruit.
Trinket.
Yeah, and so it's a big deal. And it also allows us to service markets and customers where we don't have shipping.
Right, because we don't ship to absolutely everywhere, but
Or we choose not to because it's a bad experience. I'll give you a really good example.
Yeah.
So we don't ship to Russia right now because this is complicated and challenging, but Mouser, they do. There are some places where we don't ship postal because it never gets there.
Yeah.
Mouser will ship you something via postal if you're really into postal. There's some times where you might be closer to Mouser than you're closer to Adafruit, so you save a couple of bucks. So the catalog is there.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're already ordering a bunch of stuff from Mouser, say you're doing some kind of interactive LED installation, and you're buying like a big box of parts from Mouser, you can you can save on shipping by ordering your Adafruit parts for that order through them.
Yeah. So we're really excited. Another little bit of announcement that just happened. This is our new Adafruit box. We have lots of different boxes, but what's neat about this one is when you open it up, it says Adafruit. So we've kind of gone backwards.
Nice.
We actually stayed away from packaging for a really long time because it's expensive, it's hard to do, and there's a lot of waste. We decided let's figure out the most efficient box for dimensional shipping, and then because we're buying so many off-the-shelf boxes, we can actually negotiate and get a box printed like this cheaper than getting it from like Uline, which is kind of known for boxes.
These boxes also, this is the same supplier we've been using, but now with printing on them. They're anti-static in addition to being Adafruit Black.
Yeah, that might be.
I think they're anti-static.
Yeah, I would have to double check. Someone's been rolling
okay.
and be like, no, look, static.
I thought they were anti-static. I might be confused.
The ProTech ones, those are anti-static.
Oh, okay. Never mind. So we have ProTech anti-static boxes for our little screens and stuff, and then they might go into a regular black cardboard box.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Don't want to misspeak. Anyway, get your Adafruit logos on your boxes now. And we pack stuff super snug in the box to save, be more efficient for fossil fuels and for shipping costs.
Circuit Playground Ground came out. If someone wants to know what Ground's about, little bot ground.
UPS ground.
Touch ground. On the ground.
Okay, great. Shipping update.
Yeah, okay.
Now we're going to go into our Wearable Wednesday.
Let's roll.
Wearable Wednesday on the blog is where we share a bunch of customer projects and projects from around the web about wearables. This week, starting off with this Lego arm from the University of Sweden. This is a project to get kids to build their own prosthetic arms out of Lego Mindstorms. The video is super convincing about why it's such a good idea, because the kids get engaged about creating their own functionality. They have agency over their disability and make some really cool robots in the process. So be sure to check that project out.
Last year, it was last year, or maybe it was like going into this year, we did a month-long series of 3D printing video broadcasts with Google, and it was Enable. And one of the neat things was to talk to kids who were designing their own 3D printed hands, and they're saying things like, oh, this is my video game hand that I made. And so it's just like, wow, it's like, I want one with a laser and a flashlight. And they were making and designing really, 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 really cool. Yeah,
that's super cool. Like turning like a missing limb into an ability to create some, your own superpowers and stuff.
Exactly.
So that's really empowering and nice for kids. This is a customer wrote in to show us his 3D printed enclosure for his Neo Geo watch on like a regular Fossil watch band. So that's super cool. There's another picture of the underside. If you remember, the Neo Geo watch has a Flora and a NeoPixel ring, and uses the accelerometer compass for the compass functionality on the watch, and then also the live poly battery tucked in the back there. So really nice 3D printed enclosure if you want to build your own Neo Geo watch and have it in a plastic case.
Yeah. I think I see this one too, right?
Yeah, for sure. This guy's been in the forums though. DJ Fett with a 3 instead of an E. He's been posting in the forums looking for help on his Boba Fett DJ helmet, and he finally finished it, and it's glorious and a nice work. Go check out his site.
It is a renaissance period for Star Wars and cosplay and LEDs. It's all happening at once. Comic-Con with the new Star Wars, it's bringing all the old fans to the new fans, and then now you can make a lot of stuff, and it's perfectly acceptable to cover Boba Fett with LEDs. Everyone likes it. It's like
no one is offended. It's cool. There's a lot of comments. This is on Imgur, so like there's I don't know, like 900,000 views on Imgur or something. Do we gotta get on the Imgur? I don't know.
I don't know if you want to.
I don't know. What's it all about?
For Imgur, like if you do a bunch of stuff on Reddit, that's kind of the
is that what? Okay,
yeah, that's
all right.
That's the place of choice. Like they have a DIY section.
Right, and that's the default image of hosting.
Yeah, they'll actually say like it has to be an Imgur thing.
Is it too late to get into Reddit, Phil?
Do you know who is a 8-year Reddit member?
Justin Cooper.
Me.
You.
Yeah.
But Justin Cooper also?
I don't know if he has the flare on his profile page. I'm going to find out.
Okay.
Also, verified email address. Also, Reddit Gold member.
All right. So you're going to be on the Imgur. All right. I'm going to send you all my...
Allow me to tap my fedora.
Yeah. Phil, can you post this on Reddit?
No.
Really great. Really great.
Stay completely away from it, by the way.
Really great job on your all the comments are like talking about like a Daft Punk like a very clever portmanteaus about Daft Punk and Star Wars. So a really nice job. Good use of the forums. If you're building an ambitious project and you don't know what you're doing, you can ask for help in the forums, and we'll help you out along your way with problems and short circuits and looking at photos of your project and stuff like that. So thanks for sending that in.
Just stay away from Reddit. It's kind of Reddit.
Stay away from Reddit.
It's kind of awful.
It's a nightmare. This is a friendship-finding monster hoodie. Comes from Instructables. It's got like ground sensing pads in the. I think it's one of these hoodies with it's hoodie like not like a sweatshirt hoodie, like a scarf with a hood, with like ears on it, and then like paws for your hands to go in. And then when they close a loop circuit, it lights up the NeoPixels to prove that you like found a friend worth keeping.
Oh, nice.
Very nice Instructables project.
I know what this is.
This is the Iron Man arc reactor. More cosplay. This is by David Bick. He made his code available on GitHub. So it's a, what's that? The 24 NeoPixel ring, the 16 NeoPixel ring, and then the NeoPixel jewel in the middle. And the code is beautiful. So take a look at it, download it yourself. Follow our guide for the basic, you can make the laser cut. Like it's a modification of our more simple NeoPixel Iron Man arc reactor superhero power plant. You can we have a tutorial.
Okay, more watches.
This is an article on The Verge about classic Casio watches and how like they were before their time in the smartwatch category. Really cool. Look back at some of your favorite like special and weird functioned Casio watches. I know that's why I brought it up, because you're a big watch fan and have been for a long time.
It's not a fan. It's actually not. I actually think they're all terrible. But I've cataloged how terrible it was.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, it's really trying hard. One day it's going to get there. I'm still wearing my Apple Watch. It's still a useful tool for me. I don't think it works for everyone. I'm going to do another Watch This Wednesday post when I have something interesting to say. But right now, if you're notification driven, so if your life is run by Google Calendar, which mine is right now, it constantly pushes, I'm going from meeting to meeting to meeting. And so a lot of the things are just like glance notifications.
That's really nice.
That it's kind of keeps me going throughout the day.
Well, but these Casio watches have things like calculators on them and like moon phase indicators and really cool like novelty features that kind of like the same way we're seeing now wearables with Bluetooth and notification features being like kind of avant-garde in the way they deliver them. Apple Watch has like the cool knocking vibration.
Yeah, and it's haptic. It does some stuff.
Right, and like the Ringly has like customizable color notifications for different social networks. In that way that like the feature is the fashion novelty, Casio is way ahead of what we got going on now, because it's like maybe I'll use the calculator, but it's like, oh, it's just cool that I have a calculator on my watch.
I did 300% more exercise than I normally did, and on Saturday, and it gave me a rotating like gold 300, and it's like, you're doing so good, because I walked to
that's right, took a big
walk
walk
to Prospect Park and then to Micro Center. And my watch is like, way to go! It was cool. I'm like, I was like, hey, Lamore, look at this. I'm like, I did it. Because normally it's saying like stand up.
Over 300. Well, stand up from your desk, Phil.
Normally it's saying stand up, and I'm like, I'm just gonna drink.
I'm busy. Busy watch.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I liked this article on The Verge.
This is great.
On the Adafruit site right now, you can check out Amy Ratcliffe's favorite costumes from San Diego Comic-Con. She's our resident cosplay blogger, and she found some really nice costumes at Comic-Con. And you should check them out. There's a Furiosa and what's that, Admiral Akbar? Yeah.
And then we got some beanbags.
Yeah, this debut project today is some EL wire beanbags for some summer fun, and we have a video, and it's a debut here on the show.
Or your simple summer project using EL wire and a little sewing to make your own beanbags you can use for nighttime yard games or your Burning Man juggling act. Let's get started. First up, stitch together 2 squares of any woven fabric with a straight stitch on your sewing machine. To make crisp corners, leave the needle down while you lift the presser foot and pivot the fabric around the needle. Stitch most of the way around, but leave an opening on one side at least 3 fingers wide. Clip the corners at a 45-degree angle and turn the bag right side out. Use a pencil or a chopstick to push out the corners, then press with an iron. Now it's time to attach the EL wire. We made a video all about electroluminescent materials and how to solder to EL wire, which will come in handy for this project since you'll probably want more than one bag. So check it out to learn more. Bend your strand at a 90-degree angle and hide the connector between the layers of fabric. Using a zigzag stitch, stitch over the EL wire, catching the fabric on one side. I'm using clear quilting thread on the top and plain thread in the bobbin. When you get to a corner, you can again use the needle as a pivot to help bend the EL wire. Be careful not to pierce the wire with the needle, or you could break the tiny corona wires inside. All that remains to do is plug in the tiny inverter and fill the bag with rice or dry beans. You can hand stitch the bag shut or use Velcro tape to make it easier to change the battery. These would go great with Jason Poole-Smith's LED cornhole project, or scale it up for a couch pillow, and even try our welted EL wire for upholstery projects. We have a bunch more EL projects in this playlist. You can also find the complete instructions for this and hundreds more projects at learn.adafruit.com. There's a link in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and subscribe for more videos from Adafruit.
Alrighty, and we're back.
Oh, the video is not playing. I don't know why.
What, this
anyway,
one?
Yeah, this is a little video. Whatever. Anyway, cool EL wire stuff you can do. This is just like a simple, hopefully if you're not like that great at machine sewing, this is a good practice project for that, because it teaches you both like straight stitch and zigzag stitch, and it's small and easy. Yeah, I know it is. It's okay. It's okay. You already watched the clip of that playing.
I know.
I know, right?
The
The needle goes back and forth over the, yeah. And if you're wondering, the reason we use the clear thread on the top and the regular thread on the bottom is because if you use clear thread on both, like it'll jam. It doesn't. The tension has trouble if you have, because it's made out of plastic, so it's not as grippy. So you need to use plain thread. Just like when you're using conductive thread in the sewing machine, you need to use one of them needs to be plain thread. So. Yeah, if you're looking for like a really super professional look without any zigzaggy lines on it, you use the welted EL wire because you're a pro. But for beginners, this is a fun way to learn how to do the zigzag
There's
stitch.
tension, it can jam, and also tension can mess up your jam. Right? Both.
Your sewing machine tension always needs to be in check.
Well, it's interesting what can happen with tension. It can cause a jam, and it can mess up your jam.
It has to be the right amount of tension, not too much and not too little, in order to sew on the sewing machine.
Yeah. Okay. If folks want to buy some of these things.
Yeah, if you want some EL wire and some inverters and some connectors, you can use code MOUSER for 10% off. I forgot to fix the
0% off, sorry.
I forgot to crop the slide. Here's the one yeah, there you go. Sorry about that, guy.
I just kidding, it's 10% off.
0% off.
Back to zero.
Big sale.
Yeah.
Oh.
Today's Prime Day. I don't know if you knew.
Yeah, I did know because
the opposite one.
I'm an Amazon Prime member. I know all about it. We push all of the.
Yeah, buy all of the stuff you don't need.
Yeah, just buy it.
Okay, so we have a segment that we like to do sometimes.
Yeah, this is a segment called What Are You Wearing? And it's usually when we're wearing something ridiculous. But in this case, Phil, you've been testing out this new thing. What is it?
Yeah, it's from Hello, and that's the sphere. And then this is the pill over here. They're called like pills or something. And what this is a little sleep gadget. And once you put this near your bed, this part right here, you can interact with it. It'll tell you all systems go. It does things like air and sound quality and the temperature throughout the day. And what it tries to do is help you figure out the best ways to sleep. And what it also has is this thing that clips to your pillow. And we're probably going to do a teardown, but I'll just show what it is real quick. We popped the top of this. So there's like Bluetooth and like all the stuff you expect and like sensors and all that. And it's kind of neat to activate it when you pair. You have to shake it, and it's kind of like a little clothespin. And it goes on your pillow. I got a spare. I'm glad I got a spare because one already ended up in the wash and kind of got demolished. So I got a spare.
It had a gasket in it though, so is it not? It's not waterproof though.
The cap got lost.
Yeah.
So
and like waterproof doesn't necessarily mean washerproof because of all the agitation.
It clearly shouldn't have made it in there. And so what you do is you put on your pillow and you go to sleep. You answer a few questions, and then the next day, and I'll show you kind of the setup here. So these are the spheres. I got the black one, of course. And then
that's just the box behind it, right?
Yeah, this is the box.
Well, at first, I thought that was like a base station unit or something. And I was
they're
like,
really proud of the packaging.
Yeah, it's very fancy.
And so this is the sleep pill. I wish it was like a sleep pill, but it's actually, you don't eat it.
Don't, Phil.
I know.
Don't eat it.
Yeah, well, as you can tell, I do need a sleep pill. So here's the deal. I've been using this for a while, and there's good news and bad news.
Here's one night of Phil's sleep.
This is the perfectly normal one.
Oh,
this is what it is like for every night. So I crashed
Unfortunately.
I crashed around midnight, and then I woke up around 4. And 4.2 hours of sleep, and then 1.1 hours of like, I'm actually dead.
Yeah.
I think I die.
No, deep sleep.
Deep sleep.
That's what they call it. Like
I'm dead.
sleeping soundly. You're not dead. You're
I'm dead.
accumulating new energy for the next day.
I'm going to a dark place, and I'm taking all that darkness with me. So
sleep is blissful. I don't know what you're talking about.
So So the thing is, there is one kind of flaw. So the flaw is this one's like, wow, you slept for 7.9 hours. It's amazing. But the big chunks of sleep is when I get up and MOSFET the cat
Sleeps on your pillow.
sleeps on the pillow. And they're like, you're doing great. You slept for 7.9 hours.
Yeah, because you're a cat named MOSFET.
Half man, half cat sleeps great. A regular Phil doesn't. So I think it's a neat gadget. If anything, it just makes me more aware of certain things. It gives you advice like make sure the temperature's a little cooler.
Right, so you can stay asleep
More ambient noise. But it is like a reminder like I might only need like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like it just might just be the way it is.
My grandma only needs 4 hours of sleep.
But I really would like more.
I need 9. And I wish that if I could have those extra hours, I could get so much more done.
Well, Lamore sleeps a lot.
Yeah, well,
She does.
I feel like, me and Lamar have that in common, that like in order to do important big stuff, we have to get a lot of sleep.
Yeah, I just have a billion tasks I have to do every day.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Thanks for doing those so that I can sleep. Anyway, cool. Let us know how it goes. I would like to see some improvement. You set some kind of sleep goals, whatever they are. Sleep 15 minutes longer, whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the cat about it.
The cat is not. No, the cat cannot stand in.
I thought
for
this
you.
I thought this was a team sport.
Nope. No.
All right. Well.
If you would like Phil to get more sleep, sorry about that. Use code Mouser.
If you guys bought more stuff, I would totally get more sleep.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't have to worry about this thing again.
Well, actually, the more sales we have, the less sleep you get because you have more stuff to do.
Success is panic. I agree. Okay.
It's true. Anyway, component of the week.
It's electrifying.
It's electric. Doot, 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 doot. If you want to build your EL wire beanbags or other small EL wire projects, I realized we had never talked about this little inverter on the show before. We have 2, this one and a coin cell one, but I like this one. It's my new favorite EL wire inverter because it takes just one AAA battery, and we have a bunch of rechargeable AAAs around here, so that means that it's easy to replace them, and they're perfect for wearable projects like shoes. So we have, if you remember the illuminated Chuck Taylor sneakers project, this inverter is the perfect size to power one of these shoes like all night.
Yeah.
And for like your evening dance party. The coin cell one dies a little bit sooner. So this one lasts a long time, has a really standard battery, so that's really nice. And it's a perfect size for putting inside wearable projects, even shoes, hats, shirts, whatever. So like if you're making any Burning Man projects or Comic-Con wearables or like whatever, this inverter is a really good one for small projects. It's got a switch. You can go to the next slide. It's got a switch that does full on mode, and then also another mode for blinking on and off. It's not sound activated. We have one of those, but it requires a bigger, it's a bigger inverter. So your this inverter can power. I don't remember exactly how many inches of EL wire, but about that star-sized piece of EL panel, or like the beanbag-ish. It's probably like a foot or like 16 inches of EL wire. Any more, and it'll just get dimmer and not last as long.
Yeah.
But for small EL projects, this is my favorite inverter, and that is why it is this week's component of the week.
Okay.
If you would like,
Maybe 10% off.
if you would like to,
0% off.
if you would like to get 10% off on this $5 inverter, you can that you're going to order like 6 of for your beanbags.
Yeah.
You can use code Mouser.
Okay. Question and answers. You got questions? Becky has answers.
If you have any wearable electronics questions, you can ask them at any point in the chat or the comments of any video, or on Google Plus and Twitter and the Adafruit blog, and I will queue them up for a future show, answer them on the air, and make you eligible to win the giveaway. This week, the giveaway is a copy of Getting Started with Adafruit Flora by me and Tyler Cooper.
All right. First question up on deck. Is there any way I can use a Flora wearable Bluetooth LED to transmit video from an SD card to a computer or phone?
No, sorry. Bluetooth is slow, so it's good for like small bits of information, like up, down, left, right, A, B, C.
Yeah, maybe audio, Bluetooth audio, but that's a different thing.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Bluetooth audio, those
Maybe.
modules are ready to go already, though. But for streaming video, no. It's like
yeah.
packetized. Like even my point-and-shoot camera has Wi-Fi, and you like turn on it becomes its own Wi-Fi access point, and then I can fetch the photos and video from it from my phone. And to transmit video, it takes forever because it has to like compress it and then transfer it. And so the Bluefruit, no, it's not what it's good at. But maybe you want some spy video or something.
I'm often asked if I can run conductive threads in a machine. Can you? If so, can you make any recommendations, or what is best and or safe to use?
Sure. I
learning
use
guide.
the 2-ply, not the 3-ply, which the thinner conductive thread in the bobbin of my sewing machine. It's too thick for the top. not because it can't go through the needle, but because like the root for the top thread is very circuitous, and
Ooh, sorting out the fancy words today.
what?
Someone,
Make fun of my word
no,
vocabulary.
No, that's a 50-cent word. You
Okay,
know? Yeah.
that's not like a $5 word. Don't ask me to spell it.
There's been inflation.
I can't spell anything, but I can
Yeah.
I can say big words. My dad's a retired newspaper editor.
No, it's a good word.
Okay, fine. Okay, great. Anyway, circuitous means it goes all back and forth and bends on itself, and the conductor thread is very springy and not very, it's not stretchy at all, and so it like jams up the movement of the upper part of the machine, but it works fine in the bobbin, and so you use a plain thread on the top. The 3-ply I think is a little thick for the bobbin, although some industrial machines might be able to handle it. But I recommend, and what I do when I want to sew long stretches of conductive thread is I use the 2-ply. It already comes on the bobbin, goes right in the bottom of the sewing machine, and then use a plain thread on top.
It'd be cool if there was a transformer called Circuitous, and it was like, and he turns into a sewing machine that's Circuitous.
That would be my if I were.
They never made a sewing
if I were
machine
a power
transformer.
if I were a Power Ranger, I would transform.
They never made a sewing machine transformer.
No, of course
I think.
not. No, they're all trucks and planes.
But they made dinosaurs, which was that was the worst idea. Why would a dinosaur robot even exist? Because they were dumb.
I didn't know about the
They were-
dinosaur transformers. There were dinosaur transformers. Did
Yeah.
they turn into trucks and
the
planes
Dinobots,
though?
The Dinobots. No, they turned into a robot
A
dinosaur.
robot dinosaur.
And a robot, and they were
All right.
and they acted dumb. So all that technology for a robot. Anyways, I don't want to talk about it.
Powerpuff Girls are pretty good. Did you watch Powerpuff Girls?
Yes.
So I mean, I don't know.
There
Captain Planet, that was pretty
Yeah.
PC show in
It was-
terms of like gender and race
Yeah.
and like there was something for everyone in
Yeah.
Captain Planet.
Yeah, they were always like fighting like the garbage company that's dumping in the ocean.
Yeah, I know.
And
It's
they
great. It was
won.
really environmentalist and also like
Yeah.
it was, anyway.
All right, I'm making a Flora umbrella, and I was wondering if the tactile button is still required with the Flora version 2.
Yes. So this is so funny whenever any version of anything comes out, people are like, "Do I? Because version 2?" And like, so like just happened with Gemma and Flora. We get a lot of questions like, "Do I need this now that it is more powerful, or it is?" Here's the thing.
We're usually additive. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So the thing that's different about Flora 2 is it just has a different USB connector and it has one onboard NeoPixel. Nothing else has changed about there's no like onboard tactile switch or anything. So the tactile
Yeah.
switch in the Flora umbrella is used to switch animation modes. So if you're making the Flora umbrella and you don't want it to switch animation modes, you don't need a switch, but it has nothing to do with which version of the Flora you're using.
Yeah. By the way, we got black JST connectors.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
my God.
They're really, really nice.
We've
I
got
didn't post the
packaging.
The photo's not up yet, right? The
will be,
new
it will be,
it's so
it will be.
soon. So it'll
Yeah.
be on the show next week. The black J. I saw the Flora with the black JST port
Yeah.
on it. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Okay, next up. Would the Flora be a better way to use conductive paints to try to make a project thinner?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing major, but I want to do something that's credit card sized-ish with some LED strips.
Okay. Flora is nice and thin, so it is really good for. There was like a sculptor who made these interactive books, and it used like the flat. It might have been a lily pad, but like a flat round circuit board because it would fold flat into the book. However, with conductive paint, that isn't going to have anything to do with the thinness of your circuit. If you were to use like very thin silicone wire, like the 30 gauge wire we have in the shop, that would be just as thin as these
Yeah.
traces of conductive paint. Additionally, the conductive paint isn't really that robust of a connection. It doesn't deliver very much current. So if you want to like power some, it's fine for these sequins here and for like papercraft projects with kids. But if
Yeah.
you want to deliver some really bright NeoPixel action, conductive paint is going to let you down.
I
So
think conductive paint is good for wall art that you want to have circuits to show. I think
it's
that's
very
pretty
good for
cool.
making capacitive touch sensors because you can put it underneath regular paint too, and so you can make like a light switch where you just touch the wall. And in that case, it's not really delivering any current. It's just
Yeah.
very much anyway. It's just sensing. It's like a signal voltage, not like some actual current to power some LEDs. So if you're trying to make a skinny circuit, yes, Flora is nice and thin, but I would use wire.
Okay. Let's give away a book.
Oh, okay. It's time for that now. Those questions we have just answered are entered in the giveaway through the sticky burn hat. Phil, since you haven't been around for a while, would you pick our winner today?
Yes.
I tie them in little things so that I can equalize the size based on if the question is long or short. I try to make it fair.
The winner is there any way I can use a Flora wearable Blueford LED to transmit video from SD card to computer phone? This is from Jobu90.
Congratulations. You win the book, and you can learn lots more about what Flora can do and the sensors that work with it. With your new book, please email support@adafruit.com to claim your prize.
Okay. Don't forget.
0%.
Yeah.
I gotta fix it in. I gotta fix it in the template. Okay, you can use the code Mouser to get 10% off your whole Adafruit order.
I just like click anything in front of me.
I know. I set you up for it every single time. To get 10% off your whole order, except software and gift certificates. If you aren't already, you should subscribe to the Adafruit channel on YouTube, because then you'll be notified when we go live. You can customize your alerts when we release new videos. You can get like an email when we get a new video out, which is really fun. For me anyway. And
subscribing is a good idea.
It's free and helps us out. And then if you would like to show off your own project, we have show and tell Wednesdays at 7:30. You just have to post up in the Google Plus event to get added to the show and tell circle. And then you'll be invited this week and every week to show off your project in the live video show and tell hangout with some other Adafruit folks, including Lady Ada and Mr. Lady Ada. And then at 8 p.m. right after that is Ask an Engineer, our classic live webcast, hour-long. New products.
Yeah, we'll be 6 years old in August.
Yeah, we'll be 2 years old in August.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Cool. And then
Thursday.
It doesn't stop there. 3D Thursday, all day Thursday, the best 3D printing projects around the web on the Adafruit blog, and also a debut project from Noe and Pedro Ruiz, as well as their 3D Hangout show where they talk about CAD techniques and cool stuff going on in the world of 3D printing and electronics. I wouldn't miss it. I mean, I never miss it. I watch it every week.
I do too. The chess set that they made was amazing. You have to watch it.
3D printed metal chess set with Adafruit Circuit Playground character pieces. It's kind of like mind-blowing.
Okay, that's the show. Right on time.
Yeah.
Done.
Oh, look at that. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. We'll be back again next Wednesday. Phil won't be, but we will miss him and invite him back next time.
I'll be standing there quietly judging behind the sign. I'll be peeking out.
Quietly judging. No, he'll be quietly judging the comments in the chat room to make sure that they are nice and on topic.
I'll probably be posting a discount code in the chat room.
From way over there. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye-bye.